Hello, I am here to drop in for Panchakarma Day 20. We just came to the close of the halfway point of our journey together, and I hope that you had a beautiful deep dive working with that energy of the Pisces full moon, that you feel cleansed, that you feel more open, and that the energy is flowing more freely, that you feel a little more free in your body, that you feel freed of some of the heavy emotions, some of the things that have been giving you a sense of feeling held back for a while. It's been a really good experience for me. I've been going through my own releasing process as I'm traveling through this with you, and I've come to some realizations. I've been able to look at things a new way. And definitely have been experiencing the benefits in my health and transformation there, and just reminds me of how valuable of a process this is, and how I want to continue. I want to continue forward with this, like Panchakarma life, man. Panchakarma life. Don't always have to do that deep dive cleansing process. The cleansing aspect of it, we really only do a couple times a year. At that turn of summer into fall, and then again at the turn of winter into spring. Those are the two times when we do cleansing. But the other aspects of Panchakarma, having a focus, the desire to like clear out the energy, move into expansion, do the healing work, listen to the body, tend to the body's needs, to hold space for this, and to have it be a focus, and I like this energy of combining that work with a vision, something you're bringing into being, having that quest, that the thing you're questing for, and going in a 40-day cycle with it, and then taking a week off in between these 40-day cycles to really just integrate the experience and just kind of free flow with it before you pick up your next quest. It's really powerful. And I went through a few years where I was really focused on this, and it feels good to get back to it. But when you live your life like this, you find that you're really able to make some big moves and create a lot of transformation, not just within yourself, not just emotionally and mentally, and in terms of how you move through life, free and clear of those unhealthy patterns that you shed. And, definitely moves you into this place of being more empowered in your life, being more connected to your ability to really create the life you want to live. It starts with being willing to do the work, and to eliminating within yourself the places that block that forward progression. So it's a wonderful way to have a focus. And normally when I go through a 40-day self-care panchakarma for myself, I also employ ritual work. I bring in mantras that I work with the whole time. And it's just this whole supportive container I put around, what I'm calling in. So, whatever my vision is, whatever goal I'm looking to achieve in that 40-day cycle, I bring in mantras that support that goal, and I bring in rituals that support that goal, and even the type of body work I'm giving myself, and the type of self-care I'm engaged in, every change I'm making, it all supports the end goal. And it's really powerful to move through something like that. The experience of it is very transformational, So since we're on the last day of our deep dive, and we're closing the second cycle, I also wanted to receive today. I wanted to receive, like we've been doing for these 3 days. We've been drinking in the words of Alana Fairchild. And yesterday, of course, we took in some of Patanjali's wisdom from his yoga aphorisms and how to know God. And I liked bringing the yoga philosophy in, and I probably will pepper a little bit more of that as we move through this panchakarma, maybe bring in some different sadhanas, different ways to root the roots of this wisdom, this science of life. But I thought, just as it's so fitting, because we did a big clearing cycle, purification cycle, and now we are moving into the dark time of the moon, when we really turn within, and it's about letting go, focusing on letting go and releasing deeply before that new moon comes to enter us into the new cycle in Libra on the 25th. So I thought today, again, we'd do a little bibliomancy, and that we would work with the Kali Oracle today. It just really seems fitting to me. And we're going to let Alana Fairchild, the designer of this deck and the artist who created these gorgeous images, these inspired works of art for Kali Ma. We're going to let her have the floor and convey what inspired her in her own words, so we can all receive a little bit of wisdom from the creator of this oracle. It's a really great oracle, and I love working with it. And it's kind of nice because it's interesting to see how things that I've picked up in the cards without ever reading the book are really kind of translated in what she brings forward. And it shows you how energy is so interconnected, and that communication, right? The communication beyond words. Even though I had never read, her words and the meanings of her cards, the meaning still came through. And what a powerful medium art is, and how art can express things that sometimes words fail to grasp, and there's this piece too. And so this art piece has been coming forward in one way, shape, or form. And so I'm going to encourage you now to have a little kind of like a little homework, a little project. And I want you to create some piece of art as you travel through the second half of this journey. And you can create it over these, next 20 days. Let it unfold from within you. Maybe you create a little bit of it each day. And what you create is totally up to you. Just let what comes forward in your soul come forward in your soul, whether it's creating a mosaic or painting a picture or sketching something out, or maybe you sew something, or you work with ceramics, maybe you create a dance, a medicine dance, however your creativity speaks to you. You write a song, just let something come forward in you. Let something come forward in you that relates to what this experience has been like for you, what you've learned through your Panchakarma journey, what it's awakening within you. And begin it now. Now that you have this like clean slate, it's a good time to start to get in touch with your creative energy, because your creative energy is what's going to bring your vision into being. It's what's going to support the fruition of your goal that you set into motion when you started this Panchakarma. So I think that's a really beautiful piece to bring in. So let's go ahead and see what Kali has to say for us right now, what Kali Ma wants us to work on as we enter this dark moon cycle and this time of resting and integrating the cleansing work we just did, and see what comes forward. Let's see what comes forward. Okay. Jai Kali Ma. We ask, please guide us in our steps forward as you walk with us during this in-between time, the time in between the past and where the future will be born, as we integrate the experiences of what we released and come back into our center, come back into our bodies, come back into our lives, back into our power, back into alignment with our purpose and the guidance that we need at this time to move forward in our lives in an empowered way. We got Shri Bala. And it's card 27. How fitting. 7 and 2. It's 9. It's endings. It's the ending of a cycle. So how fitting that this would come in on our last day of puja, our last day of purification. I'm just going to read the opening paragraph that explains the message of this card through Alana Fairchild's words, who designed this deck. Divine child with wisdom beyond her years, the old soul with deep knowing dwells within our hearts. She urges you to commit to your most passionate inspirations, completely and without hesitation. There are genius and wisdom in what you yearn to do. You have a greater capacity to attain fruition than those around you recognize. Believe in yourself, even if no one else does. It is not imagination that drives you toward your destiny, but an instinctive recognition of your true purpose. Validation from others will come later. Your path is authentic, and you are destined to succeed. Wow. Is that not what we were just talking about? That is so beautiful, and it's so perfect. And even more strongly, brings forward this piece of, connect with making some art. It was 11:11 as I said that. It's this big alignment energy. And lose the mind in the art. Let your art be a meditation. Don't judge what comes out. Just let it pour out of you. Whatever wants to be created. Just spend a little time each day working on this piece of art that you're going to bring into being, whatever medium you choose to use. This is something you're going to be working on throughout this second half of this Panchakarma experience. And it's all about like hatching the vision. You're going to build that energy through your art to hatch your vision. And it's by doing this, you really come into your creative power. You're going to build that creative power of transformation and actualization. So this is really such a cool, affirmative message. And I take this as a strong sign that, you did the work. You're ready. You're ready to come on through and bring that vision that you seeded at the beginning of this journey into fruition. Really beautiful. So let's go ahead and take in this invocation ritual. And I'll look at time stamping this when the invocation ritual actually starts. I don't know if I remember to do that with the other one I posted, so I will double check tonight. I'll see if I did, and if I didn't, I'll make sure to take care of that over the next day or two and get that one time stamped as well. And I'll get this one time stamped tonight, so it's easy for you to access, so you can just tune in and receive. But for the time being, just settle in. Close your eyes, take a nice few deep cleansing breaths, just letting that lower belly expand and rise, and then ebb and flow, just like a wave of that prana coming in and out, washing in and out, filling you with that vital life force, and then releasing it so effortlessly. We're always in this constant process of releasing with the exhale, and how often we forget that. We cling so tightly to things normally. We have such a hard time letting go, and it's ironic because we have such practice in letting go with the breath, but we don't normally come into the present moment so much that we really look at things in that way. We don't understand the correlation that, yes, we know how to let go. We know how to let go, and the thing is that so often we're trying to let go, right? We get in our minds. I don't know where this is coming from, so I don't know if this is going to tie into this ritual at all, but I'm getting this download coming in right now that so often we try to let go, right? And that's like the paradox. You can't try to let go. It doesn't work like that. There's no trying involved. There is no coercion involved. There's no effort involved. You let go. You just let go. There's no mental process around it. There's nothing to figure out. It's just an affirmative statement that comes through action. It comes through just simply releasing, opening, softening, giving it over. And that's really beautiful. So for those of you who have any remnants, that you feel are still lingering, maybe you need to do, another round of extraction work, another round of cutting those cords as you go through this process, and you'll know trust your inner rhythms. But I also feel like getting in touch with this creative energy can be part of that catharsis of really facilitating that release to, let any final expressions of what you're closing the chapter on to be expressed through this art, and watch what it becomes when you come through the other side and emerge into the new cycle you're going to be beginning. It's going to be a really beautiful evolution of that creative energy you put in motion over these next 20 days. So let's do this invocation and see what comes forward. I'm interested to see myself. Place your hand at your heart and feel. Imagine or intend to make a connection with the original wisdom and inner knowing within. This wisdom and clarity is your primordial divine nature. It would have been strongest in you as a child before societal conditioning and life experiences taught you to adapt and defend yourself. Your intention to connect may need to travel beneath layers of belief, reactions to suffering, family or cultural projections, and so on. Beneath such things, the original wisdom still breathes life into you. Believe it is possible and effortless to drop beneath all layers and simply feel the vital breath of your true nature deep within. It is pure spiritual instinct and inner soul intelligence. Connect beneath the mind and the stories as you breathe. Say the following prayer. Shri Bala, divine daughter, original divine instinct, my true nature, I bow to you. I hold the wisdom and desire for me to be and fulfill my authentic being. You are the fearless spiritual instinct within that must manifest for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Nothing shall obstruct my path as I move from the inner ground of my being with unwavering focus and self-trust. I am held in my divine mother's protection, blessed by her grace and her belief in me. May your unrivaled wisdom and unerring knowing guide me always. May you prevail. Jai Ma Bala, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Finish with your hands in prayer at your heart. You have completed your second ritual. And isn't this interesting? How the breath came in. I had no inkling that she would use the breath, as that bridge, to bridge together this invocation. So I just love the flow. It's also interconnected. And I love these connection points coming through, and just how beautifully, seamlessly everything comes together in Panchakarma. So there's so much about that, right? Getting out of the head, getting into the body, getting instinctual, feeling your way through, getting in touch with that more feeling nature. And that's another way that, that creativity can facilitate that process of getting in touch with that more feeling nature. You have to feel art. Art is born out of feeling. It's not born out of thoughts. Have you ever tried to do something creative? Have you ever tried to create a piece of art and thought it out? It doesn't flow. It doesn't work, right? You just have to kind of get out of your head. You have to be willing for it to be a little sloppy. Maybe you color outside of the lines. You don't have anything set. You let go. You let go to the process. And it's another way of letting go that is totally about not trying to let go, right? It's just entering that flow. So I love the way that came through, and I hope that you get something out of that. And I hope you get something out of this creative piece that you're going to share, from your heart. And even if you just choose to keep it to yourself, that's okay too. But if you feel inspired at the end of this Panchakarma journey, I would love to see what you all created. I would just be so stoked to see what came forward. I just think that would be really cool. And I will definitely share what I create with all of you. Okay, so that's what I have for you for tonight. I am really going to take it easy tomorrow. I am going to do my check-in probably at the end of the day. This has kind of been working well for me to check in at the end of the day. It allows me to sort of sink into the experience and flow of Panchakarma as I journey along with you. Some days I might do it first thing in the morning, but lately it's been an evening flow for me, and I am kind of a night owl, so I hope that that's been working for you all. But I feel really good that I've been dropping in here every day, and it's been a good process for me. It really has, to stay committed on that level, stay connected. And that's really what it's about. I'm committing to staying connected with all of you through this process, to show up, to be present. And thank you so much. I'm loving sharing this experience with you, and I appreciate all of you. And thank you so much for bringing your voices into the mix and sharing your experience. It's really wonderful. And I'm noticing more and more people are starting to kind of like, yeah, I'm coming forward. I got a little something to share. So it's really cool seeing people open up to what's coming up for them too. So many blessings to you, and congratulations on making it through that deep dive. And now we're going to start working on really building our fire and igniting our creativity, and moving into our place of confidence and feeling our mojo and getting ourselves all pampered and nourished, and just really, really in a beautiful space to enter that new cycle. So I look forward to this next leg with all of you. Take care and have a beautiful night.